There are many different ways of solving a quadratic expression like this one. In this example, I'm going to show you how to do it using factorising. Now, it might sound a bit strange, but I'm not going to show you how to do the factorising bit because I've shown you how to do that in previous videos. And really what I want to do is focus on the other things you also have to do when solving by factorising. So here we go, we've got 2x squared minus 11x plus 12 equals 7. The first step is to make your quadratic equation equal to 0. So why do you have to do that? You're going to find out in a minute. But how do you do it? Well, you move that 7 over to the other side and it becomes a minus 7, so you've got 12 minus 7, which is 5. So this turns into this second line there. Now you can use whatever factorising method you want and turn this into this, and it's still equal to 0 because factorising doesn't change the value. So if that's equal to 0, then so is this equal to 0. Now here's the reason why we had to make it equal to 0. In short, what happens is that when you factorise, you turn it into two brackets, right? And so this bracket basically represents a single number. Say x is whatever number, say 10, and 10 times 2 is 20, 20 take away 1 is 19. At the end of the day, this is going to become one number, whatever value of x you have, right? So this represents one number, this bracket here, and this other bracket represents another number. Okay, and what's happening is that when you've got two brackets next to each other, there's a secret times in between them, an implied times. Okay, that's what you mean by when you multiply brackets up, because you're timesing the brackets. Okay, so basically you've got two numbers, one number here times this other number here, and when you times two numbers together to make 0, that means one of the numbers have to be 0. One or both of the numbers have to be 0. Okay? Think about it. Think of two numbers that times to make 0. I'm going to think of two numbers. Say 7 times 0 makes 0. See, one of them had to be 0. Think of another thing. Minus 3 times what makes 0? Minus 3 times 0 makes 0. So one of them at least have to be 0, and that's the reason why we made it equal to 0, so we could do this little trick. Before, it could all equal anything, yeah, x could be anything, but now we're going to narrow down what x is equal to, because what we're going to say is that if you got two brackets timesing to make 0, then one of the brackets have got to be 0, and then we get one step closer to working out what x is, because we can now say that either x minus 5 is 0, which is that bracket, or this bracket is equal to 0, so 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, now the way we do it in maths, the way we say this in maths, is that actually both brackets are equal to 0 for different values of x. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we use both of them, not just one of them. Yeah. So now we can carry on. We can say 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, and rearranging it a bit will easily give you x equals half. I'm going to show you how to rearrange it a little bit. The minus 1 jumps over to the other side, becomes a plus 1. So you've got 0 plus 1 is equal to 2x. And so 2x equals 1. Take the 2 to the other side, it becomes 1 over 2. So x equals 1 over 2. Basically half. It's much easier in this case, so we take this bracket, we say this bracket is equal to 0, so x minus 5 equals 0, moving the minus 5 over to the other side makes it a plus 5, so 0 plus 5 is 5, so x equals 5.